Hi, my name is Skylar. I'm the non-binary atheist, and today I wanted to talk about purity culture and why I think it's harmful for everyone involved. Now, before I begin, I wanted to let everyone know that I'm going to be talking about this in an assigned female at birth, previously Christian perspective. So I don't really know what it's like for people who were assigned male at birth, or if they were Muslim or another religion, just the Christian assigned female at birth part. So if you were assigned female at birth and you grew up in a Christian setting, you probably went to a youth group and got some kind of purity, modesty talk type of thing. And typically these talks told you to cover up, and they typically gave different reasons for it. For example, you are more beautiful this way because God said so, and because it'll help your brothers in Christ from stumbling. And granted, they typically try to give more secular reasons for it, but I don't really remember those, nor do I think that they really matter in this conversation. So I'm not really going to go over those. But this is why I think this particular sentiment in the religious setting is harmful for everyone involved. So, for example, this sentiment for me, as well as all my female friends, made us feel like our bodies were just objects to look at and to be taken advantage of, instead of us being worthwhile human beings who are deserving and worthy of love, which is what the Christian churches are supposed to be preaching. Because of this, I think that in addition, this sentiment is really harmful for victims of a certain crime. I'm not going to say the specific name of, because I don't want this video to be taken down, but I'm going to say something that rhymes with it. But I think it's harmful for the victims of rape, because a lot of times purity culture victim shames. So a lot of the times they'll say that if you're dressed a certain way, you deserve certain treatment based on that. So it's really harmful for the people who are victims of that, because they feel like it's their fault because they were dressed a certain way, which is not okay. It's never the victim's fault. Now here's the thing, a lot of the time people talk about it from the woman's perspective and why it's harmful for them, but I don't see, I see it more now, but I haven't in the past seen a lot of people say it from the male perspective, which I also think is important, because I think purity culture is also harmful for men, because a lot of the time purity culture tells women that men are just bumbling, horny idiots who can't control themselves if they see a woman's shoulder, which is, also not okay and typically not true. Now, here's the thing. I think that this is also really harmful for just a general thing, because a lot of times, in addition to purity culture, you're expected to not have any thoughts about sex at all. And if you're asexual, that might be really easy for you. And I'm not really going to be talking about the asexual experience just because that's not my experience. But a lot of times in high school, they basically said that if you think about that kind of stuff at all, then you're a bad person and you really shouldn't be. And that's really harmful for a lot of teenagers, because that's the time where they're kind of discovering themselves that way, even if it's just, by themselves. Now, because there's such a culture in purity culture to not think about sex or act upon your sexual thoughts in a healthy or consensual way, it turns suppressed young teenagers into really horny young adults, which is also really harmful, because a lot of the times that means that the young adults in different churches, especially the Catholic Church, end up marrying really young to somebody that they might not want to spend their whole life with, because they just want to be allowed to have sex in a culturally appropriate manner. So a lot of people I know have done this. I'm one of the last people in my high school friend group to get married, and I'm only like 23. And I can also prove this because a lot of the people that are my age, 23, and even people younger than I am, have had kids. And I know everybody is on their own timeline, so I'm not judging them for having kids or for getting married pretty young, because that could work for them, and I'm not really gonna sit here and judge them for that. But I feel like with the amount of people that are married so young versus the people that like aren't married, I feel like some of them felt like they had to get married because they had sex or had a kid or something like that. And that's all I really had to talk about today. Just make good decisions based on your life. That's all. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.